Good morning. I look crazy. I'm crazy. Do y'all watch Zachary Michael? He's always like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I have the day off. I figured I would bring you along today while I do nothing. So on the agenda today, I did leave myself some messes to clean up. So I need to do the dishes and then put my laundry away and then kind of tidy up a little bit. And then I need to water the plants. And then really the only thing I like kind of actually have to do today is go grocery shopping. I'm hoping to do that this morning before it gets too hot, but I'm gonna try not to like rush myself to get that done. Other things that we could do today, I want to finish editing that vlog that I was just talking about because I haven't finished editing it. I could wash my car. I made my last credit card payment this morning, so I am officially out of credit card debt. Oh, that feels so good. That is going to be so nice to have that extra money cleared up when I can put it towards other things. So it's been a long time coming. I started this journey like 2.5 years ago, so I feel really good. But I think I'm gonna try to get up and get myself ready and go do some things. So cue the B-roll. You can get up there? You can do it. Oh. I really did just wake up, but got my protein coffee. Found putting a protein shake in my morning coffee just helps me have more energy throughout the day. It makes it more satisfying. I do also typically eat breakfast, but I really haven't felt like cooking the past week, so I need to figure out something so that I can actually eat breakfast because I don't like not eating breakfast. But I usually do the dishwasher at night, but it did not happen last night because did you see that pile of dishes? That was a lot, and I didn't feel like doing it last night. I'm gonna light a candle for the ambiance. My apartment is messy in the way that it would take like 10 minutes to tidy it up, but it's not actually dirty because I like actually went through and cleaned it this week. So it's overwhelming because there's just stuff everywhere, but it also won't take that long to clean up. But this actually would be a good time. I want to show you something. I have been trying to be more present lately. I decided to look for an app that would help with that, and I found, let me see what this app is actually called. So it's an app that was created by the VA, but anybody can use it. So it's just called Mindfulness Coach. I'll put a thing on the screen so you can see it better. But it's just called Mindfulness Coach. So when you open the app, there's a ton of different things. There's like mindfulness training, you can practice mindfulness. You can also track your progress. So there's like a quiz that you can take that goes over like how well you're doing your mindfulness, and it just asks you different questions about like how present you are during the day. So I took that assessment yesterday, and I think so mine are pretty low. My being observant is low, my acting with awareness is very low, my not judging myself is very low, and not overreacting is probably the highest, but it could be higher. So I like that you can kind of track and see where you're at with all of these things. But for today, we're gonna do mindfulness training level 2. So I just started this yesterday, but I'm really liking it so far. It's probably one of the better like mindfulness apps that I've used. So I'm going to turn off the camera while I do this, but it's basically just a seated meditation. But I'm gonna turn off the camera so that I'm not distracted while I'm doing this.
In the back of my mind, I'm always like, this. Mostly it's just related, like, I'm a person.
Basically every vertebrae needs 15.
No.
This is one of the ones that's fucking brain. Fuck out of here.
It's just in lyrics to a song.
If you're sleeping in a tree, like it's sort of 9 hours a night. There's all those beliefs. It sucks and you should do one.
This is the outfit. I have to cover up my boobs. Cute. It's a little see-through, but I'm just at home for today, so I'm not too worried about it. This is my dilemma. I really struggle with having all this free time, and at the same time, I don't like working a ton because then that takes a lot of my energy. So it's kind of like a no-win situation, although obviously having free time is a good thing. So I don't want to like complain too much and be like, oh my god, I just have so much free time. It's not that, it's more like I have such a hard time relaxing, and it really is a problem that I'm trying to get better at. That's why I started doing the like mindfulness practice. But it's so hard for me to be present, and it's so hard for me to like just accept downtime and relaxation. I think I'll probably sit down and edit that video that I filmed that you've already seen, or that's already uploaded, and then get my grocery list ready. I really don't feel like leaving my house right now, so I'm not really in a rush, and I literally have all day. So okay, I've run into a slight issue with editing. The last video I filmed on my phone. I don't know why, I just didn't really feel like holding the camera, and I finally got the clips uploaded to my computer. My computer is like 6 years old, which in Apple times is basically a relic. So all of the clips are really choppy, and at first I thought that that meant that the clips were completely ruined and I wasn't going to be able to upload this video. But I'm just realizing they just need a lot of time to process, more time to process than when I film on my camera and then upload to my computer. This doesn't happen when I film on my camera. So I was letting them process all last night, and I guess because I closed my laptop, they didn't finish processing. So I finally reached the point in the video where they're still processing and they're super choppy. I'll show you. Serum. I'm going to take this time to plan out my groceries, and I'll show you what I do for that. Well, I have a $50 a week grocery budget, so that's just for food. That doesn't include like household items. I don't really have a budget for household items. I just purchase them when I run out. This is who I am as a person. I have a document to plan all of this out. I'm such a planner. I used to hate that about myself. I used to hate like how much of a planner I was. I thought it made me like really annoying, but I kind of like that I'm a planner. So I have a document where I plan out all my meals and I do my grocery list for the week. My brain is just like struggling to process most things these days. So like I did that editing, I made my grocery list and now my brain is like exhausted. Like I just need a minute. I used to be able to do so much more cognitively, but I don't want to be too hard on myself. I don't want to be like really mean to myself. That doesn't make sense. That's not going to make my brain function at a higher capacity. But it is, I think, probably just grief and having to accept that I do not operate in the same way that I used to. But I'm just like mentally so exhausted right now. Like I can't even fathom going and getting groceries right now. I might just go sit in my room in the dark for like 20 minutes and then reevaluate where we're at. So basically I just am needing more quiet time than usual, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, but my mood is like slowly, actually no, not slowly, my mood is like rapidly declining. So earlier this year I had to have a medical procedure done and my insurance covered most of it, but it didn't cover all of it. And I ended up having like a $500 bill, and I had paid a little on the day of the procedure, and then I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, once I get the bill, I'll just pay it then. And I just like, I didn't forget, but every time I got a statement from the billing office, I was like, oh, I have time to pay this, I have time to pay this, it's fine. And today I got a letter that was like, you need to pay this or it's getting sent to collections. And it just triggered so much shame in me that I like honestly shut down, because I was like, oh my God. Like, so I did some like EFT tapping. I pulled up like an EFT video. I think I said earlier that I've been getting into that, and that helped a little bit, but admittedly it did not help as much as I thought it would. I just feel like so stupid. I just feel so dumb for like not paying that bill. And I know that that's really harsh, and like I wish that I didn't feel that way about myself, but that is how I feel. Like I feel so like effing stupid for not paying that bill. But I was thinking about, because I'm about to get another medical bill for an MRI, so I'm thinking like, okay, how can I learn from this mistake? There wasn't a way to like set up a payment plan with the one that I just got the letter from, but this new bill that's coming in, I'm hoping there will be a way for me to set up a payment plan. And if not, I'm just gonna call and say like, hey, can I just pay this much each month until it's paid off? Threw off my whole mood, and I already was like not feeling great before then. I was feeling a little depressed. So I'm really trying not to like fall really deep into like the intense emotion. I went and sat outside before I went grocery shopping, and I think that that helped with the feeling of depression. And then I went grocery shopping, which that did make me kind of overwhelmed. But now I'm home. I struggle with the fact that I am an imperfect human being, and I struggle to accept that. I wish I would have remembered this when I opened the letter, but I think supposedly sour candy is supposed to help with anxiety, and I do find it helps me quite a bit, but they're like one of the only things that really snaps me out of my anxiety, besides like taking anxiety medication. But I don't really want to take that because I'm already kind of sleepy. If I must, I will take it, but that did help. What I need to do now, because I haven't eaten, and I think that that's probably not helping with my anxiety. I bought instant mashed potatoes, so honestly I might just make that. It's not the healthiest thing, but at least it's something. I'm feeling better than I was earlier. Do you ever like maybe overreact? And then like once you get some food in your stomach, once you take a breather, once you just like separate yourself from the event, you're like, maybe my reaction wasn't that justified. I'm just thinking about like when I got that letter, I was like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do? What is going on? And now I'm like, it'll be fine. So I think I just needed a minute to be melodramatic. I'm a gig worker, and this month has been so slow because of wildfires. I think that's why, like, people just haven't been leaving town because the wildfires have been so bad that people aren't traveling. And so when people don't travel, they don't need pet sitters. This month has not been good in terms of work. It is going to pick back up for Labor Day, and I've already booked quite a few for Labor Day, so I'm not worried in that way. But I really was. Like, there was a point maybe a week and a half ago where I was like, I don't know. Like, I was like, I'm gonna have to get a new job. Like, this is probably also being melodramatic. It has been very stressful the past few weeks. And I'm really proud of myself because I knew that I could kind of approach it one of two ways. I could either like fall into the stress and just spend all day worrying, make myself sick, have stomach cramps, or I could try to address the stress positively. So that's part of the reason why I started doing like EFT tapping. I started a new round of EMDR in therapy, which I do feel like has been very effective for me when I've done it in the past. And I've just overall been trying to like fill my days with things that give me something to look forward to. So on Thursday, I'm actually going to a concert. I'm going to see Always. I am so excited. I have been listening to Always for years, so I am so excited to finally see them in concert. Giving myself things to get excited about has been a game changer for me recently. I went to a concert a couple weeks ago. I went to Surfer Girl, but just like taking myself on dates and giving myself something to look forward to, I think has really helped during this month, and it's definitely something I want to continue doing. So it's been stressful. I'm also really proud of myself for how I've managed it up until this point. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. There's a Twitch stream that I'm gonna watch, I think in like an hour. So I might cook some food between now and then. Oh my God, can I do it this way? It's of questionable appearance, so we'll find out if it tastes good. I'm not really sure what happened. I was doing fine, and then all of a sudden I like couldn't really move, and I felt really overwhelmed. And basically for like an hour I was just like completely dissociated from myself. I don't know if that was a panic attack or what. It's definitely something I'm going to bring up next time I have therapy. I'm still not fully back from whatever that experience was. I ate more of the warheads to help. I was trying to feel and like feeling the textures of the rug and the coffee table. I had like Febreze next to me, so I like sprayed it on the pillow next to me and I was like trying to smell that. I tried to tap, that did not help. I put my feet up like on the wall, because sometimes that helps me whenever I'm feeling anxious. That did not help. The warhead kind of snapped me out of it, but now I just feel like super disoriented. I really don't know what that was or what even triggered it, because I don't, like, it was just so sudden. So I'm just exhausted. I feel like today has been so all over the place for me emotionally. It's not usually like this, but I've just been so up and down all day. I don't know, when it comes to like depression and anxiety, usually I can tolerate the depression, but the anxiety is like a whole other story. It is so intense, and sometimes it's like just so sudden and I don't always know what triggers it. It's so much harder for me to cope with it because it's so intense, and it feels like when I get anxious in that way or triggered or panic attack, it just feels like the world is like crashing in on me, and like I'm trying to like push against it, but it's so intense that I feel like I'm just like fighting a losing battle, and sometimes I feel like I just have to like give in, but giving in makes it worse. That sucked. That sucked so bad. I don't know what that was. That happened like an hour and a half ago. I don't know what I plan on doing for the rest of the day. To be honest with you, I feel pretty just very out of it. I did take some gabapentin, which should be kicking in soon to help with the anxiety. But this was a very real day in terms of being somebody who just lives with like mental illness in general. I don't think I've really touched on that as much, because it's something that's still very hard for me to talk about, because I think it's something that I'm still trying to understand about myself. I'm trying to understand my depression and my anxiety and like the things that trigger me and make me just overwhelmed and anxious and nervous. But I also like did not come from a family where that's normalized, so I think there's still a part of me that it gets nervous talking about those things, because I feel like I'm like bringing down the mood. And that's kind of like what I felt like this whole video was like. I don't want to like be the person who brings down the energy, but at the same time it's like this is my video, so I guess I can in theory kind of do whatever I want with it. And I also don't necessarily think that that's like a bad thing either. I think that there's something to be said about the depth of human emotion. I'm trying to experience that more fully and not feel like I have to disconnect from the negative emotions as much, but sometimes they are just so intense that I feel like I need to disconnect in order to stay safe. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and leave the video here. I'm not doing much else tonight. Just gonna try to get myself closer to baseline before tonight, before I need to go to bed. I'm looking forward to this concert later this week, so I'm going to take it easy until then, but I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you do something for yourself this week, and I will see you in my next video.